Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this Friday evening. My name is Arms Bumanlag. Another edition of the Arms Bumanlag Project coming to you live from the Little Heart Studios, my home office in beautiful Amherstburg, Ontario. Glad to have you. This is actually episode 2, really episode 6 of the series so far, but episode 2 this week. We had a lot of fun with some folks joining us on Tuesday night, but we're going to have a blast with my guest tonight. The guy is just a solid individual, and I am very excited to bring him on the show in just a moment. But before we get to that, some housekeeping as usual. You got to check out some of our past episodes. They are up online. You can listen to them anytime on Spotify. You can search Arms Bumanlag Project and check out our YouTube channel too. There's some really cool behind the scenes stuff. The June 27th Miracle Organizing Committee, including Big Brother Canada's Tara Gillen Petrozzi on the show this past Tuesday. That's up on YouTube. And then next week, one of the funniest dudes I've ever met in my life, wedding videographer Mike Teves, is going to join the show live next Friday, June 25th, 8 o'clock sharp. The guy is absolutely hilarious. And if you're thinking, Mike Teves, that kind of sounds familiar. Well, yeah, that was the Mike Teves of the Teves family that was on Family Feud Canada. So he's had a couple of videos, some really unique wedding videos go viral. So he'll be joining the show in just a couple of days, next Friday. Joining me on the program, though, is just a guy that I've always respected, a guy that you may have seen in the news as of late, and he does a lot of good for YQG. The one and only Adam Castle is on the project with me this evening. My man, what a shaking.
Thank you so much for having me, buddy. It's so good to be here.
I am pumped that you are here.
Me too.
We've got so much to talk about, brother. First of all, for those who are watching the show, aren't familiar with the man, the myth, the legend that is Adam Castle, give us a rundown. Shake us down. Who is Adam?
So I was born in Saskatchewan, in Regina, Saskatchewan, and grew up in Toronto. At 18, I moved to Windsor for university and to follow my mom, who came here to actually work at the Humane Society. And anyways, went to school at University of Windsor and then Wayne State for social work and sociology, and then actually started DJing and working in my field in social work. So I worked at New Beginnings, Windsor Essex, which they just have the most amazing crew and team there. And I met some incredible kids as well. We worked in open custody detention as well as a group home, and it was just I think I grew a lot more than the residents did when I worked there. And then from there, I worked at the school board for Catholic board for many years, and really fell into economic development. And so just sort of fell back into my love of business. I was an entrepreneur when I was about 15, started my first DJ company. And I completely fell in love with the process of watching a business grow and thrive and scale. And so I worked at Windsor Essex Economic Development, which was such an incredible lesson in community building and forward thinking. And then I got to get the chance to interview at We Tech Alliance for their Director of Venture Services job, where I am now. It is such an incredible job. I wake up every day so excited to go to work, and I come home every night so excited to have gone. And that's just so cool to be able to say. So that's what I do in my spare time when I'm not working with clients. I love our community. I love to support the causes that are really close to me and my wife's heart, which is the Ronald McDonald House of Southwestern Ontario, of which I'm a board member on, Hackforge, which I'm also a board member on, which is a great organization that collects and connects tech entrepreneurs and tech workers in Windsor and Essex. And we also house the Ontario Tourism Innovation Lab, which is an incredible program that is just taking over this province and beyond and doing amazing things with entrepreneurs. And then I'm also on the board for the new Ronald McDonald House of Southwestern Ontario, as well as Red Shoe Society of Windsor Essex. So it's quite busy.
I was just going to say, my God, the Energizer. But that's good, though, because you're passionate about what you do. And, we use the hashtag RMH family from Joshua here saying, Adam looking good in the comments this evening.
Thanks,
so
Josh.
It's a solid baseline, I think, for you to be connected so intricately across YQG, right? You've got this experience across all these different organizations. And now you find yourself at We Tech Alliance, and you work with somebody that I think is well known in the community too, Yvonne Pilon, And tell me about that relationship that you guys have, and the fact that WeTech has really gotten out there over the last 4 or 5, 6 years to really help out,
Yeah.
not only advocate for the tech sector, but individuals here in the community.
So our whole team is incredible. And I know this sounds so incredibly cheesy, but we are such a family. And even through COVID, we're virtually working together. And I think that's been the hardest part for us, has been that loss of connection. Because we spent so much time, hey YP, we spent so much time together, working on things, and we've always been a relatively small team, so we're no bigger than 5. We do a lot. And so Yvonne has been so great to be able to sort of let me see what my passions are and then encourage me to go do them, whatever they've been. It's been amazing. I wouldn't be able to do this and have this support if I didn't have the support of my employer to do it.
Yeah, it's amazing, when how much people can succeed and how much people can really forward think about where they want to be career wise, personal wise, and goal wise when you have the support of a forward thinking leader.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, with Yvonne, obviously elevating the WeTech brand and making those relationships in the Windsor Essex area, it's benefited not only WeTech, but the tech industry too. But having somebody like yourself on board doing what you do, I go back to, pre-COVID. I've always been a fan of yours. I know we've talked over the years on radio and television in my previous life, but what really touched me is 2 things with you, and certainly your beautiful wife, which we'll get to in the next couple of minutes too. But our connection specifically through the Ronald McDonald House and the Big Red Shoe Society is, having to spend a lovely Sunday with you folks at, I believe it was the Windsor Club, right? It was the Windsor Club.
It was our brunch club. Yeah, Sarah Grace Donnelly, who was our president at the time, that was her baby. It was such a great event, and we were so glad and thankful that you were able to share your story with us, because I know at that point it was still very fresh. Liam was still quite young at the time. So we appreciated that so much, that you would come and do that for us.
It was such a great opportunity for my wife and I. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that was our first time out of the house since we brought Liam home from sick kids that we were able to get out. So wow. It was an opportunity to kind of give back locally to the Ronald McDonald House and get to, talk to you, Sarah, Christine over at the Ronald McDonald House here in Windsor, but also to hear from a lot of folks who are, I guess, I don't want to say alumni, but they were family at the Ronald McDonald House, and they're joining the chat here this evening, like Maria, saying, hey, round up your McDonald's bill to support the Ronald McDonald House as well. Outside of that, I know you and I had chatted at it was a networking event, right? Networking event in Amherstburg.
For their chamber.
For the chamber.
Oh, and I was so nervous that night.
Drop the mic on that, though. You were so good.
I was so nervous because I saw you in the crowd and I was like, okay, there's a professional here. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah, right. I was there actually because I was working with a client on our social media company at the time, and we were kind of scoping out the Amherstburg networking, and I thought, I'll go to this thing. And then they said, Adam Castle's presenting. Dude, when you were up on the mic and I was at the bar, because it's a night out of the house.
Yeah, so there was wine. There was wine. Yeah.
100%. And I just saw you do your thing. And I thought, my God, this guy's got passion, but he loves what he does. And you're really trying to engage the audience, which you did, because I love how you kind of tied in some of your background to the story, but you were also educating the folks. And I thought to myself, man, this guy can present, but you're really hooking people. So that's, I think, in your particular position is so key, right? You want to storytell,
I appreciate that.
But you want to engage, right?
Yeah, my role is all about being a coach and a teacher, and that means a lot of the time that I'm learning. Every day I have to learn something new and get up to speed on a new sector, a new type of programming language, new technologies, and it just keeps you growing, keeps you engaged. And it's such a cool feeling because no day you go into work and every single day is different. Because one day you're working on stuff in ag tech, you're helping a client to figure out how they're going to sell this product that helps people look for pests in greenhouse industries. It's a massive problem. And then the day after, you're working with a client that's developed out a brand new way for people to use the bench press that minimizes risk of injury. So it's so different every single day, and it's always good. It's just always so positive because entrepreneurs just have the most infectious vibe all the time. Even when things are bad, they still want to push through. They still want to continue to work on things. It's just so inspiring to be around that all the time.
You know what else is inspiring, and we got to talk about this is your absolutely beautiful wife, somebody who's been with you from day one, right?
Yeah,
Let's talk about her, and look at you guys here,
there we are. That's wedding day.
wedding day,
Wedding
and
day.
and so young, right?
So young. 5 years ago,
Young,
14,
9 years.
2014 was when that happened, which is a decade or more ago, it feels like, especially during the time of COVID. And yet, she's been such an incredible supporter, such an amazing person to be quarantined with. Like, I would never want to be quarantined with another person because
You're a good man.
it's tough. Yeah. And it's just been so wonderful to be able to watch her grow as well. She's an incredible leader in her job, and she the way she deals with her team is what inspires me to be a better leader with mine. It's been so incredible to see her do her thing and grow and just pull off the coolest stuff. She works for a really great advertising agency that works on some great accounts in Windsor and Essex, and they're just awesome. So and such a good corporate culture too, which is cool. So
Jay with the comment, I love this couple, great people.
so Jay works at Ronald McDonald House, Windsor, and is one of the most fantastic people you'll ever meet in your entire life. He cares so much, and he's just absolutely awesome.
Jay, thank you for watching the show and joining Adam Castle and I. If you're rewatching this on the broadcast on YouTube after the fact, or you're joining us live, we're live, by the way, on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You can comment in the chat. We love to hear from our folks, our audience here. Comment, share, and like away. Adam Castle, episode 6 of the Arms Bumanlag Project. Hey, one of the things I wanted to talk to you too about before we get into some fun stuff is I said to Adam, we got to plug. Adam's got a new show. If you didn't know that, it's awesome. So we'll talk about that in the next couple of minutes and why you should listen to it. But it kind of ties into my next topic here is, Adam Castle, the guy's built like a house, right? That's my thing is because you have, listen, I go back and forth. I've put on so much COVID weight. I feel like I waddle now. I honestly, my wife Carrie says to me, she's like, you're rocking the dad bod. I'm like Fat Thor.
You're like, I am a dad. That's fine.
That's
it's appropriate at this point.
That's right. I said, this is the dad
perfect
bod.
the way I am. Yeah.
100%. Liam always goes on my belly and he says donut, so I'm just
don't body shame me.
That's right. That's right. But it's, one of those things. It's like, I know how hard it is to lose weight and then keep that weight off. Yeah. I want to say to you publicly how amazing you did in your journey. And I just want to bring this up here. I mean, dude, you look great.
Thank you.
You got to tell me about this, this transformation for you as well. And how this happened, to walk us through this process of you doing this.
So I think it all starts with your why. The why has to be strong enough to keep you going and motivated through the worst of this, because it does get really, really tough. So figuring out your why, and for me it was what I wouldn't be around to be a part of if I wasn't here, and that was my relationship with my wife, my family, my friends, my colleagues. I just had so many things, Arms, that I wanted to do and be. And I knew that if I wanted to do that and be that I had to start being nicer to myself. And so really starting with that why was everything that I needed to build a foundation. And then I started slow, literally just one small step at a time. I exercised for 15 minutes a day for the first 2 weeks. And then I just added another 15 minutes and then added another 15 minutes and tried to walk the dog a little bit more often. And it starts to accumulate, because you have to understand, you didn't do all that damage to your body in the blink of an eye. You did that over time. I built what I had built with my body over 15 years of abusing it and putting anything in it that I wanted to, because I was looking for an outlet for my stress and my trauma. And what happens is, as you start slow, those little things that you start to do become habit. And as they become habit, they become enjoyable because you're used to them. And you stop being so afraid to move or to try new things, because you've already got this base that you continue to build on and build on and build on. And then you're riding 130 kilometers around the county for the Canadian Mental Health Association. That's been the entire process. It hasn't been more complicated than that. It has been just like one foot in front of the other, very small incremental changes, and continue to know that your worst days can still be made better by tomorrow. So if you fall off the track, if you're falling off, the wagon, because I was and am a food addict, all you have to do is remember that the next choice that you make can be a positive one. That's all. And then on the side of nutrition, which is also the equally as important, and that's everything. This is a journey of balance. It's finding balance in your life. And it's nutrition and movement. Those are the two. And actually, movement is medicine. One of my favorite sayings right now, my good friend Kyle Essery, who's also a Soul Focus ambassador, gave this to me tonight. So I'm so excited to be wearing it. And so anyway, so you have movement, you've got nutrition. And on the side of nutrition, it's so simple. It's eat whole foods. Eat foods the way they should look like after they come out of whatever they're supposed to come out of. So when they're whole, when a banana looks like a banana, it isn't dried into a chip and it had sugar on it, it's better for you. It's better for you to eat the whole foods. And here's why. And this is what I found out through research, because I became obsessed with this, like literally obsessed with it. If you look at where people live the longest around the world, which are these blue zones that they're called, and there's, I think there's about 7 of them, and they're all over the globe. So it's not in one particular place. And what they found is they eat less calories overall, so in a day, not by much. They always feel full. They never starve themselves. They don't count calories. They eat mainly foods that aren't processed in a factory. Mm-hmm. They eat lots of seafood, and everything else that they put in their body is natural or from the earth, and limited amounts of meat. And that's it. That's all they do. And they don't go crazy with protein. They don't load up on protein, because I know that's a big thing in our culture when you're trying to get fit, is you need more protein. It's about balance. And the beautiful thing about those foods is that when you're eating naturally, there's something that's like a synergistic effect in the nutrients of it. So there's the right amount of carbohydrates and the right amount of fiber and the right amount of protein and the right amount of fat in all these natural foods, because they're whole. And as soon as you start pulling them apart, you mess with that natural ratio. And that's when your body doesn't know what the heck to do with that type of nutrients. So when you've got this massive shot of carbohydrates that you get from a bag of chips, your body has no idea how to process that. Because in the natural world, they would never run into that much salt and that much fat and that much carbohydrates in one place at one time. And that's when you start to form those addictions. Because what happens is it's such a powerful reaction in your body that your mind starts to crave that stuff. And then you want more and more. And it just continues to grow from there. And so really, you're eating naturally, you're eating whole foods, and you're doing things very slowly, exercising a little bit at a time and growing that ability. You're golden. That's all you need to do this. And time, right? The last 2 years I've dedicated to this and had the opportunity to do so, which is amazing. But those are the only things that requires this sort of change. And I firmly believe that whoever you are, you're capable of doing the exact same thing. Maybe it's not your same journey. Maybe weight loss is not a thing that is a priority in your life, but literally starting slow, giving yourself time, and finding that good balance and nourishing your body with the right fuel, the sky's the limit for whatever you want. I'm such a firm believer in that.
Well, dude, you look awesome. I mean, I remember the morning, Carrie. I think you had posted something on Facebook, and Carrie's like, "Oh my God, did you see Adam? He looks great." And I was like, "No," I go, "No way!" And like, not like I was just proud of you. I was like, "Oh my God," like, because I know how hard that is to like just do it, but kudos to you. And I think mentally too, right? That's helped you out a lot in that connection, mind and body.
Very much so. I mean, look, I'm not going to say there's no bad days. There's always bad days. And there probably always will be, but I've had more good ones. And I think that's a big part of how I treat myself now, and how I move through the world, and you know, the kind of things I want to leave behind in my wake as I move through it as well. That all really helps. Really does.
Adam Castle is my guest this evening on the Arms Bumanlag Project. It is Friday, June 18th, and we're happy to have him on the show today, talking about a number of things to do with tech in the city, with We Tech Alliance, his weight loss journey, and then CMHA. You are a Sole Focus Ambassador. Tell me about that experience. Tell me about your ride that you're doing as well. I mean, that's got to be something that is a passion project for you as well.
The Canadian Mental Health Association of Windsor Essex, I honestly can't say enough about the team that they have over there. And I want to be so honest here in saying that I don't think that all of the attention that I'm getting should be anything that detracts away from the work that they're doing, because they are heroes in the highest sense. And the work that they do over there behind closed doors, behind safe doors, where they create safe spaces where people can go and say things they can't say anywhere else, and they can leave that place and they feel lighter. They feel like something's been lifted off them. And sometimes that's the first time they felt that ever. They deserve every bit of attention that I'm getting, because the work they do in our community is so incredibly important. It's so important. It's vital. And we can't grow, I think, as a city or as a region or as anything, as a country, as a world, until we start to prioritize people's mental health as well. And we're in a country where we're in such a great position, we're able to do that. But we have to do it for everyone. And that's a really important part too, because it's not accessible to everyone yet. And so I've been very privileged to be able to access everything that I have on this journey. But there's lots of people that have a lot of barriers. And so we have to even the playing field every chance we can get, so that everyone gets that same level of access. And actually CMHA Windsor Essex, they have, as part of their values, is equity is one of those big things. They want to make sure that everything they do is for everyone. And when you look at mental health, and I was talking with Lee today, Lee Vachon, about this as well on our podcast, she said that everyone is affected by it. Every single one of us has a mental health challenge at some point. Most people, it's going to be loss, but at some point, we all need some sort of support. And this is an organization that provides it to everyone, regardless of who you are. It is just so cool to be a part of that, and to be a part of this group with yourself, with Tammy Friars, with Kyle Estrie, with all these amazing people that care about this as much as I do. It's just, because I'm going to tell you a secret, Arms. When I first learned about this project, I saw that you were involved in it, and I was so excited for you. Because I've been watching your career as well, and I was so proud of you that you were out there talking about that stuff, because at that point I hadn't seen it. And so seeing you talk about it, I was like, oh, we got Arms doing it? I want to do that too. That's something I want to do eventually as well. And like, literally, we're here. It's insane.
It's well, God bless you, man. I go back, it seems like a lifetime ago. It was 2017 when the folks at CMHA, the wonderful Claudia Denbour, she was just an amazing woman. I have the utmost respect for Claudia. She approached me along with Kim Willis to say, hey, we're doing this thing and we want people to show their souls. And I'm like souls, like jazz music, soul, and then she goes, no, we want you to talk about mental health. And at the time when I was on AM 800 and I was doing the radio shows too, it was kind of a taboo topic in 2017. I mean, Bell does the Let's Talk thing, which is, it's important. It's great. And I support them 100%, but it's like, you need to have those personal connections and you need to break down those barriers. Like, if you were to say to me, honestly, Adam, like back in the 90s, a half white, half Filipino kid going to Holy Names High School who had a mentally handicapped younger brother could talk about his anxiety issues.
Yeah.
I'd say that that's not a world that exists. Right.
Oh, for sure.
Fast forward to 2017, all of a sudden it's like, yeah, let's talk about it. And it has been a very liberating experience. I will tell you this, in everything that happened with Liam, as you know, with my son, there was some PTSD for me, especially when we got back. My wife, she's a rock. Carrie is a rock. I know she struggles with things on occasion, but it's you got to talk about this stuff, right? Like, it's almost like you look at the sum of your life. I'm going to be 40 this year, right? I don't feel it. Sometimes I do.
Don't look at it, buddy. Come on.
Your check's in the mail, Mr. Castle. Thank you very much. I try to. You look at some of your life and you think, how long do I want to carry this monkey on my back? How long
Yeah.
can I carry the monkey on my back? And it's okay to seek help. I mean, so when
Hmm.
we started to do the initial Soul Focus project, I think it was like Tammy Fryer. It was, I think, Noel Montcalm. There was a few of us who were the first kick at the can, and then got Jeff Burrows. Burrows is a good guy. Burrows is
Yeah.
involved. You're doing it now too. So I think it's just important to have those conversations and try to destigmatize it. But it's again,
Hmm.
that's paradigm shift, I think, between different generations
Yeah.
and how they view mental health. But because of people like you, you're putting it in the forefront and then getting that attention and having people to talk about it. You must get that from people that you work with from a WeTech perspective, or even on the different boards, right? That people feel a little bit more open now, right? To you?
Yeah. Yeah. Over the last couple days, I've honestly gotten thousands of messages from people. Thousands of messages. People have stopped me on the street, tell me that they've seen the article. It's super overwhelming because it is like it's this very vulnerable thing, right? You're open to sort of the world, and you get as you read your story again, you start to go back to those places, right, that you've been with them. But the messages have been so incredible and so powerful, from ranging from people that have told me that seeing my story is the first time they've ever gone to therapy, and went, and talked to someone about the things they're going through. Some people have, already lost weight and have joined me on my journey virtually.
It's awesome.
And so many more have also, reached out to just say, like, thank you for giving words to things that I'm not able to talk about yet. And it's just, it's incredible. It's an incredible experience. I'm so humbled to be a part of it. And it's not my journey so much as it's everyone's. We're all affected by mental health. And I'm just lucky for this moment in time to have a platform to talk about it.
And I think because of individuals like yourself who are so genuine at your message and so authentic in what you do, I think that resonates with a lot of folks because they say, like, Adam is okay with it. Adam is making positive change, and he's
Yeah.
being realistic with it in the sense that, like you said, there's going to be bad days, but we'll get through it. That frees up people a lot, which leads me to my next plug here, because I got to talk about this. Adam Castle, folks, if you think the guy's a solid individual, which he is, he also has a solid podcast. And the link is up here if you're watching the video. I'll put the link in the show notes for this as well once this gets live. I was happy to be one of his guests. Tell me about the podcast. Tell me how this came about.
So first, you were my first guest, and I've never been so nervous in my entire life.
Oh, get out of here.
I was so awkward. I listened back to it, which is the last time that I'll ever listen to myself on anything. And I was like, what are you saying?
Great.
I said, for sure, bud, for sure. Like a Canadian up north. Like I'm out of Letterkenny like 15 times. And I was like, what are
You
you
were good.
doing?
Dude, you were good. You were really good.
It was so good to be with someone that was so professional about it, and you were amazing. You made that episode good. But since then, I've gotten so much more comfortable, and I've had almost 15 guests now. I'm booked right till the end of June, and I honestly believe that I'm going to keep doing this because there's, I think, a need for people to tell their own stories, and also for people to hear about others that are going through similar things. And that's really all I wanted, was to create like this resource library of resilience for people to turn to and say, maybe there's someone else out there that can identify with me, and make me feel like I'm not so much on an island. And so, yeah, so started that, and the conversations have been incredible. Like I've been blown away by how open people have been, and how vulnerable, and just how gracious as well, to even like to come on and share that stuff with me and share it with everybody as well is incredible. It's a gift that I could never repay or say just how much it means to me. It's so cool.
The podcast is absolutely fabulous, folks. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, I mean, he's got some really great guests. I listened to the one with Kyle Essery. I thought that was incredible.
Yeah,
Really great,
super
really
powerful.
great episode. And then the always awesome, always entertaining Mr. Dan McDonald from AM 800.
Yes.
Another great episode there. Solid dude too. And I was happy just to hear about how people again are opening up and getting that flavor of like Windsor Essex in those podcasts too, right?
Yeah.
Sharing
Yeah.
that common thread, which is great.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's something. Oh, for sure. See, I did it again. I did it again.
You're good. Dude, you're
Tough.
good. It's no, it's
Um,
good.
it's no, it's they're so authentic in all of them, and what you get is the love of place, because I think we all sort of share it. And, you know, I was able to interview the team behind Rare, which is like, so they're in every room that I own. And so, and just talk about, yeah, I think that's a big part of it is in taking care of our mental health, we're also taking care of the space around us. Such a big part of what has driven me through this process is how beautiful our city is and our region. Because every kilometer that I go, I get to see something new, and it's gorgeous. Like, there's no shortage of really cool pictures to take here. And so, yeah, so that's all sort of part of it. You know, you can't have one without the other.
It's an awesome podcast. Highly encourage people to find it. Like Josh said, I'm searching for it, saving it for later. Listen to it as you will.
Thanks,
I
Josh.
was happy to be on it, and I want Adam saying it's going to continue, which is great news. And then you talk about exploring the area. Let's talk about YQG. Let's talk about Windsor Essex.
Let's
Some
do
of the
it.
hidden gems, local business. I mean, I'll be honest. Windsor gets some hate sometimes, and we've seen that. I've seen that a lot in the media, and that's a whole
Yeah.
other topic about skewing negative and how
Oh, for
that
sure.
has a direct
Yeah.
effect on the topic that you're talking about and the consumption of that media. Not to say everything has to be sunshine and lollipops, but it being a very authentic and real thing, saying, "Hey, here's an issue, and how do we find a solution
Yeah.
collectively,
Yeah.
right? Instead of
Yeah. For
grabbing
sure.
a pitchfork and going after somebody, here's the issue. How do we find an equitable solution?" And then when you translate that into Windsor Essex, I think the city. I mean, you've been here for a while. I mean, I grew up here. It's been through its ups and downs, and then you
Mhm.
take a look at some of the gems. I mean, what I love is the street art that's been popping up.
Oh, it's incredible. It's
Right? It's
incredible.
nice.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, it's so good. And it's everywhere too. Actually, I hope someone like makes a tour of it at some point. Because now that we've got those bird scooters, that'd be a pretty cool idea.
Have you
Um,
tried? Have you tried those yet?
we went, yeah, so we went down to the river,
Nice.
and went on them. I think the first weekend that they had them, and we had
Okay.
so much fun. They were so much fun. Also, very fast, and so be careful. But they were great.
I got to try them out. I saw a lot of people online, and I read some of the coverage on it. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like the last time I was on something very similar to that was in Chicago back in 2010. But
Okay.
yeah, I think it's a cool thing to have for the city. Where else do you like to go? Where do you and Beth like to spend some time?
Yeah.
Your favorite businesses?
So we love driving out into the county. Like, that's our favorite thing. Tomorrow we're actually going to Thiesen's to pick up some flowers for our moms and
Nice.
stuff, and for Father's Day. Um, our favorite businesses are there's so many. The minute I start naming them, I'm gonna I'm gonna forget somebody. But I'll tell you what I had for dinner tonight. So for dinner
Okay.
tonight, I had kale that we got from Lee and Maria's. We get that every week, and not a big fan of kale, but I eat whatever comes in the box, so it's fine. And so I had kale for dinner with mushrooms from the Mushroom Hub, which
Nice.
Dennis and the team of the Mushroom Hub are incredible. If you don't know about this yet, they're the only place in North America growing urban mushrooms. So literally the distance between the farm and the box that they give it to you in is like 3 feet. You can't get them fresher, and they taste completely different from what you're used to at the grocery store. It's nuts. So we love them. Dennis is awesome. And then Ortaliza Farms, which is a new vertical farm in Kingsville,
Ooh.
and also actually a client of WeTech, because you can tell how much I love all of our clients. We get greens from them every week, and that's like another huge, like, I look forward to it every week because they're always so different. So, and
That's a
that was like,
solid dinner.
that was literally dinner. And then finish it off with an apple from DeMarco's Fine Foods in South Windsor. The team there is incredible. They have the most amazing food that they make as well. They're his mom, the owner's mom, makes it all, and it's him and his wife that run it, Felicia and Ray, and they're incredible people. They're really cool.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
like that beats my dinner. I had like chicken strips with Liam. Like, and some broccoli I made the other
Hey
day, and
man,
we
it
had some
depends on the
popsicles.
sauce. It depends on the sauce you're having with those chicken strips, you
That's
know?
it. And the barbecue sauce for
Yeah.
me, and the boy
Yep.
likes it. So, but
Yep.
no, that's
There you
good.
go.
That's good. And we're lucky because there's some really great locations in Windsor Essex for you to check out, and
Oh yeah.
rest restaurant wise, you guys have to have a couple of good places too, right?
We do, yeah. So we love, we support Jubsy quite a bit. So Jubsy, if you don't know, is a great delivery app. And they basically donate 5% of every order to the downtown mission. So
That's awesome.
every order money goes down to feeding people, and their slogan is that, with Jubsy everybody eats, which is really cool. So and they've got a good team behind them too, and they're super hardworking. So we love ordering from them, and we order everything from them. We love Dragonfly Sushi, which is on Ottawa Street. We love Windsor Tea Emporium as well, which is on. We love everything on Ottawa Street, basically. It's we like to mix it up too, and there's so many great new places that we haven't even tried yet. So we're excited for it to be able to go there and be safe out in public for sure.
So outside
For
of
sure.
the awesome restaurants, the local food and produce, let's talk about those hidden gems again. There's other places in the area that you like to go. Where would you
Yes.
recommend for people to get like a flavor of the city and that visual wow?
So like Riverfront obviously is amazing.
Sure. Yeah.
You can't beat it. But there's so many great trails in Little River. So like Blue Heron Park is incredible off of Banwell. It's got this great mountain that you can sort of climb up. It's an awesome spot to catch the sunset. All of the trails at Ganacho are incredible as well, and so well taken care of, and just really cool. Malden Park is like you could explore it forever and never find all of the hidden trails that they've got in there. We just have so many great natural spaces. Obviously Ojibwe as well, but I really like Black Oak, which is on the west end. So it's actually like tucked in behind Dainty Rice.
Oh, yeah.
There's a parking lot there. They have a dog park as well. And it's just really cool. And then also the dog park at Optimist Park in South Windsor is amazing. They've got like, it's all trees and stuff like that. I love all of the outdoor spaces that we have here. We've got some incredible parks. Even Jackson Park, Beth and I that's our favorite place for picnics for sure.
Jackson Park is solid because I grew up on my parents' first house was on Jeanette in downtown Windsor, and that's where I grew up. And we used to go to Jackson Park all the time. But to me, Jackson Park was always fascinating because you had the Queen there way back when she came for a big visit, hence Queen Elizabeth Gardens,
Yeah.
and then the band shell that's at the back near Parks and Rec. To me,
Yes.
like just knowing some of the history, like some of the Motown acts performing
Mhm.
on that way back when,
Yeah.
it's just a cool park to check out. And then just to have that right in the middle of the city is just it's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
neat,
There's
you
so
know.
many places where you're just like, this is Windsor, right? You get that feeling of like, no, there's no way I'm here right now. I have to be in a forest somewhere up north, or a tropical rainforest. Sometimes when you're at the park in Tecumseh too, it's incredible.
Adam Castle is my guest on the Arms Bumanlag project. We are engaging with you live online on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook and we are live on Twitter. And the rebroadcast can be found on my YouTube channel, or you can search for my podcast on Spotify as well, the Arms Bumanlag project. Love to hear comments from individuals. And your lovely wife, just dropping the names here. There you go. Away you
Nice.
go.
Just tagging them
That's
all.
all right. Just hanging them all. Okay,
My
so
social media manager. So
yeah. Is she like giving you the
she's
checks and
got
balances
she's
when it
got
comes to
she has
posting?
such great strategy suggestions.
Yeah.
And I mean, we found that out when I was on the campaign as well, when I ran for election. But
Yeah.
yeah, everything she tells me always lands just perfectly. So very lucky, very lucky. I guess we both are, right?
Yeah. I Carrie has a very like she's very strategic in what she thinks I should post. Me, I post stuff because I come from a different angle. Like I'll post different things. Like I'll post like, hey, I'm playing my new Call of Duty, and I'll take a shot. And she's like, nobody wants to see that. No one
Yeah,
cares.
Beth will give me those checks too. She'll be like, what are you doing right now? And I'm like, I don't
That's
know.
it,
This looks
right?
like it's a cool angle. She's like, it's not. And it's
It's
never been a
not.
cool angle. Yeah, it's not going to
No,
be good.
no,
It
nobody.
won't
And
go
then
over well.
I'll look on my Instagram
Yeah,
and like I'll have
zero,
one like, oh, it's Adam,
zero. Yeah,
right? So
yeah. It's just
Arms
me.
likes it, so
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
good, right?
yeah, yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, our wives are amazing for that, and kudos to them to kind of having that keen eye as well. Okay, before we get into some cool nerd talk here, which was promised to
Yes,
you, that was my lure to bring him on the show. We got to talk about some nerdy stuff.
that's it. I can't
Let's
wait.
talk campaign trail.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd do it again?
Uh,
Maybe.
I don't. So I'll never close a door in my entire life. But at this point, it's not in the plans. I think
No.
I really want to focus in on where I can make an impact. That's it. That's all I care about in this city. And so, what I think would be the most impactful is to support diverse voices in this next election. We need more women and people of color around the table to represent the people that we have in this city. And it's just a proven fact that having diversity of thought makes for a better place. And I want Windsor to be the best place it can be. And also, WeTech gives me so much joy and creates so many new connections for me that I could grow there indefinitely and still make such an impact on our community. So I think for now, I'll stay out of the races.
Well, I was so proud of you when you ran. I mean, that was during my broadcast tenure, and I remember seeing some fantastic articles, and the fact that you were actually going door to door.
Oh, it was so much fun.
And that's a testament to you, because not a lot of politicians do that. I mean, they say they do, but I mean, you must have met some cool people though. Yeah,
people are just incredible. Like they just they really, I mean, similar to what's happening now, right? They open up. I have a rose that was sown by one of the constituents of Ward 5. Her name is Flo, and she took my sign even though her husband was a fan of Ed's. And she gave me this rose, and she said it belonged to her sister who passed away. And since she passed away, she had no idea how to sew or what to do with all of this cloth that her sister had left her. And she decided to make these roses, these Flo roses for them. And so she gave me one, and she gave me a couple. So I gave one to Beth, and then I wore one in every photo that I'm in the election. You can see the Flo rose that I wore. And I thought it was so cool. And she said that I guess she hands them to people from when they're going on trips, so that they give them out as like a gift, because her sister, I guess, loved to travel. So I was like, that's such a cool thing. But there's a million stories like that of people who were just so good and so kind. And that really kept me going it was a long 6 months for Beth and I, because we would work and then go out and knock on doors and do events on the weekend. But it was, the people made it worth it 100%.
Kudos to you for doing it. It takes a lot of energy to do that and run for something that you're very obviously passionate about as well. But I know you have other passions outside of all the advocacy work you're doing, all the stuff you do for WeTech, CMHA. Those passions include the nerd realm, as I say.
Let's do it.
Let's talk. Okay, so gamer, born and raised,
sir.
Right?
Born and raised. I have a PlayStation 4 and I have a Nintendo Switch. I love them equally. I can't choose. They're both fantastic. The thing that I play the most is Ghost of Tsushima Online Legends. I play it with Adam Fry, who's my colleague, as well as Jean-Marc Vachon, who's also my colleague. It is our team building exercise. That's awesome. Man, it is one of the best times I've had since the start of the pandemic, is just hanging out with them, just slaying some zombies. Sometimes you just got to slay zombies. It's just what you got to do.
Is this a first party through PS4, right? This is the one that's like,
it is,
samurais, right?
Yeah, and the game itself, like the solo game, is incredible. It's incredible, and it's so long. It's like feudal Japan, attack of the Mongolians, and you have to defend your island essentially, and it is so epic.
That's awesome. And Nintendo, I had to wear the shirt for you today.
I love it. Cool. I appreciate that. That's what I was raised on.
Yeah, well, that's it, right? I mean, my first system was the Nintendo Entertainment System, and Liam, we have a Switch. Carrie bought it for me last year for our anniversary. We play it as a couple, so we play the Mario Kart, we play Mario Party, Super Mario Odyssey. I love. I think it's an amazing game. Yeah. And then I got Super Smash Brothers, just if we had friends come over or anything like that. But Liam really gets into the Mario Kart, and I love Mario Kart.
Mario Kart's so good,
so good. And now he's got like the little Hot Wheels. They actually make Hot Wheel Mario Karts, so they're and like we're like getting them a bunch. Like I'm like going to Walmart now when I go grocery shopping. I'm like I gotta find Donkey Kong.
It's for Liam. It's for Liam. I swear.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But yeah, we that is like our family system, and that's upstairs. That's awesome. In my man cave. I'm a Microsoft guy. I had PlayStation 2.
Right. I can't be friends anymore, so that's tough.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm and Microsoft I have a love-hate relationship with. That's it. That's right. And because
it's all about.
they have the crossplay now, right? On a lot of
Yeah.
the big titles. But I don't really online game that much. But I mean, right now I'm playing. I'm trying to go back through my backlog of games, and I have so many. But I was playing a lot of Call of Duty, and I
Nice.
really want to play the new Mass Effect trilogy, the
Oh, it looks
remaster that they've got.
incredible. Yeah, it looks
Right?
so good.
I
Yeah,
really want
it
to
looks
play
so
that
good.
too. But I want to get the
That's a
new.
game you'll be playing for the rest of your life, though. That's a 7-year investment of
That's
your
okay.
time.
That's
Yeah.
okay. That's
Yeah.
one thing I'm trying to do is like get back to doing things that Arms loves to do, and like I do love to game. I've always been a big
That's
gamer, and
cool.
it just you try to take care of your kid, and then you try to make sense of other things in life, and then it's like I got to carve out some time to game. But
Yeah.
I'm just excited. It's a really good time to be a gamer. What about if you could take a game that you've been playing and you've been playing Nintendo your whole
Oh,
your whole
forever.
life forever? What game would you like to see back on the new consoles now?
Oh, that's easy, without a doubt. I want to see an update of Earthbound, which came up
Yes,
on Super Nintendo,
so good.
which is like the quirkiest, coolest RPG I think ever. That one's really cool, and I'd love really good updated versions of the Turtles games that were out on the original Nintendo as well.
Yeah,
I'm a
Turtles
huge
in
Ninja
Time.
Turtle fan. Actually, I
You
couldn't
gotta
be a
say those.
bigger fan of them, to be honest. That's the baby from the original movie.
Oh my
Uh,
god!
that they made me take away from work because it was too scary. Like they couldn't handle it. None of my coworkers appreciated. Here's the thing. This was there we go. One of the last
There,
models
yeah.
that that Jim Henson created for a movie before he passed away was
Come on.
this, and then the actual turtle costumes. Yeah, it was like one of his last projects. So it's so cool. No one else thinks so except for me, but that's fine.
I think it's pretty badass. I'm going to be honest. I think
Well,
that's
you
so.
got
That's
you got a cool collection behind you as well.
yeah. Carrie was riding me because like she's like, you're on
Mm,
Zoom calls all the time. You're
uh-oh.
doing this, and you've got. I go. People know I'm a nerd, right? Like that's not news.
Yeah,
Like I'm gonna
yeah,
be honest.
yeah.
I've even on CTV, I would wear Batman aprons when we were cooking in the
Yep.
kitchen with
Yeah, you
Adriano,
did.
right? And like I've got this shield behind me. This is the Captain America shield I came out to our wedding ceremony with. I had Carrie on
Well,
one arm,
that's
and I had my
awesome.
Captain America shield, and I had them play the Captain America theme. And Carrie was like, at first she's like, "You're not going to do it," and I'm like, "Oh, it's on." And then it
Got
was
it.
just like,
Got it. Of course we do.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
you got that." Got my baby Yoda that my sisters gave me. I've got a whole bunch of Todd McFarlane toys up there. Some Batman
Awesome.
Arkham's.
Are you fan?
It's
You fan of Spawn as well?
oh, Todd McFarlane is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes. Spawn
Yes,
is so good. So
yeah.
good. What a great comic book.
It was in the '90s. Todd McFarlane's Spawn to me was. I love Todd McFarlane's story because I know he was obviously with Marvel and he did some DC, and
Hmm.
then I know, don't quote me on this, but there was like some drama and he said, well, forget it, I'm going to go off and do my own.
Yeah, he
And
didn't
then
like some of the pressures that he was getting. I think from like the studio or something.
yeah,
Like with the story direction, because he was dark. He was a really dark author.
sure. Yeah, and then he comes up with Spawn, and it's like you got Spawn, Clown, Malbolgia,
Oh,
Sam
Clown
and Twitch,
haunted my dreams as a kid.
right? Such a good story though.
Terrifying.
And then
Yeah.
they had the Michael J. White film. Do you remember that? With
No.
John okay, Spawn, it was like mid 90s. It was Michael J. White as
Oh,
Spawn.
yes, I do
Yeah,
remember the movie. Yeah, because
yeah.
I remember the clown in it, and I was like, he's too good. It's too scary. Can't
It's
do it. I turn it
it was
off.
John Leguizamo was the clown. They like shrunk him
That's
down. They did
right.
like the Danny DeVito
That's
thing with them.
right. Yeah, and it had
Um,
such a like, it was like Batman Tim Burton, but darker, like way darker. But it still felt like a cartoon a little bit. Like
yes.
it was so good.
Okay, so Ninja Turtles for you and
Yeah,
it would be like the it, right? So for
yeah.
me
And
growing
Power
up,
Rangers combo.
oh, which one though? Which kind of Power Rangers?
The Green Ranger. It has to be the Green Ranger always, even after he turns into the White Ranger. Anyone that
Yes.
has the power to wield a flute that calls a robotic dragon has all of my respect, Arms. They have all of my respect. That's it.
That was such a good show too, right?
Oh,
But
it
like
was so good.
I ask which one you like because like and as you get through the 90s, like 98, 99, they had like Power Rangers Turbo Super Ninja Speed Force, and it was like,
Always
what is
the
going on?
original. It was always the original, and then Street Sharks, which was a weird Ninja Turtle thing.
I remember that.
Street Sharks were so crazy. They were just ripped guys that turned into half sharks, and for some reason they fought crime. Like it was a very loose plot line for sure.
For me, honestly, Jay says online gaming has been wonderful during the pandemic for my son. He's 11. One of the
Oh, that's
ways
awesome.
he's always been able to chat and play with his friends. They go on and chat, play Fortnite. Definitely helped during this time. Yeah, I think that's huge. I think it's helped a lot of folks too. But
Hmm.
for me, honestly, like the holy grail, honestly, was two of them, and one I'm so geeked about, and I wanted to get your take on it
Okay.
was He-Man.
Okay.
Okay, because
Yeah.
He-Man, they got the Kevin Smith
Yeah.
He-Man Masters of the Universe
The toys
Revelations.
for He-Man were ridiculous. They were so good. So
So
good.
good. So good. So He-Man and then Batman, the animated series, is
Oh
like I
yeah.
have it all on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And as soon as Liam is comfortable, I've been kind of exposing him to some of the more cartoon. Like it's a cartoon, but it
Yeah.
gets dark.
Oh,
I'm
of
like,
course it does. Yeah.
the boy's gonna get educated in the world
No,
of Batman. You
that's the
know?
one. He has the glowing eyes in that one, right? They're like pure white with his Batman suit.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's so good, and it was so deep too. Like it had like arcs and stuff. It wasn't just like a
Yeah.
kid's cartoon. It
It
actually
is.
that one reminds me of Avatar: Last Airbender,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is so good too. So good,
That
like just like a beautiful story.
that was a good. That was a really really good show. I saw a few episodes of that as well. And with Batman the animated series, for me, it's the voice who did Batman, Kevin Conroy, who still does the voice of Batman in the video games, which I think
That's
is
right.
amazing. And then Mark Hamill, aka
Mark
Luke
Hamill is the
Skywalker,
Joker.
is the Joker, and he's just magnificent.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
just
it's
so
incredible.
good, so good. This is next level nerdiness tonight.
It is. Yeah.
It is.
What
This
is
is like
it?
next level.
What is it about that role that you think brings out? Because you have Heath Ledger, who's an incredible Joker. You've
Yes.
got Jack Nicholson, also incredible. Jared Leto now. Something about that role, people just come out of their shells and they do the most incredible things with. What is that? It's so cool.
Um,
It's iconic.
honestly, like with the Joker, I think there's so many iterations of the Joker, and it's funny. Like
Yeah.
it's you should say the Joker is one of my upcoming guests on the show. For this show is actually we're gonna go deep with Meredith and Dave Finch, who
Cool.
wrote and drew for Batman,
Oh
and
man, that's cool.
it's gonna be a really cool show. That's coming up in the next month, but. For me, the Joker is the yin to Batman's yang. Like they don't exist without each other.
Yeah.
They're almost so intertwined. But to make a good Joker, you can go so many different ways. Like my
Mhm.
wife Carrie, like loved Heath Ledger's Joker, and she loved Jared Leto. Jared Leto's Joker to me was like the worst. And then I watched the Zack Snyder's Justice League extended cut on
Yeah.
HBO Max, and I was like, that last 5 minute scene that they put him in with Ben Affleck, I was like,
Yeah.
this redeems it for me. I literally got up
Yeah.
from the couch. I'm like, well,
Yeah. I
I need to,
100%
I need to
agree.
see more.
That movie, I was
You
like,
know?
okay, yeah, okay, this works. I'll take it. At the very least, I'll take it.
Yeah, it was just so good. And then was it Joaquin Phoenix though? Like as a standalone film as the
Oh
Joker.
yeah.
I mean, him going down the stairs to the hockey song,
Oh,
Gary
it was.
Glatter, right?
He took it in
It's such
such
a
a
good
cool
film.
direction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just so happy with it. So happy with it. We got a couple minutes left to go. We're going to continue to nerd it out here. We're getting a lot of comments in the feed about the nerd stuff. Melissa Robinette says, I bought your Futurama and Symptoms from you. I can't believe you parted with them. I actually went through a purge a long
I've
time
done the
ago.
same.
Right?
I've been. Yeah, you have to. You're married. You gotta
Yeah.
get rid of some stuff. You can't keep it
Yeah.
all. You know.
I've established some that I keep close and I have significant.
It's about buffer spaces that you can
Yeah.
protect your own things in. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And then, like I said, when the boy comes of age, I can pass it down to him and say, this is what you got to do. Right.
That's so
But
cool.
if you were to say, like, as a pop culture fan, nerd, affectionately called nerd, if you were to say, though, Adam, you go back to when you were like 10, 12, that you were to say, hey, you're going to have next gen graphics on gaming systems that will blow
it's
your mind.
insane.
Like, you can't fathom it
It's
as a kid.
incredible. It's incredible the worlds that they put you in now. It's just nuts. This game, this Ghost of Tsushima game, is so amazing. It's so good. Adriano, Little Nightmares 2. That is a terrifying game. And also, I didn't sleep for a week.
What, for Little Nightmares 2? Because I saw a YouTube video and it's like a side scroller, right?
It is, yeah, but it's so creepy and so eerie. It's really good.
Okay, I got to check that out. And by the way, to put Adriano on the spot, dude, I need to get you on the show. I've been trying to hunt him down to get him on the program because we go way
100%.
back.
Yeah.
Got to get him on the program. But Ninja Turtles, we got to talk about that because here's the thing.
Oh, let's do it.
Are you happy with the Michael Bay reboots as a fan?
No, absolutely not. No, they break my heart, Arms. They really do. But the comics have gotten so much better. So much better. There's a comic that they're running now called TMNT Last Ronin, and it's about only one of them surviving like 100 years in the future kind of thing, and he
Sure.
has to get retribution for what happened to the other brothers. And that's all I'm going to say, because there's a lot of people that haven't read it. You'll never guess who survives, and it is electric. That's all I'll say.
Okay. I got to get into the comics again, man. Like,
I'll lend you
that
mine.
was
I'll
like,
lend you mine.
okay, I'm serious. Like, we got to,
Yeah.
first of all, we got to do dinner, the four of us. Okay, that's
Oh,
what we're going to be given. So
100%.
then,
Yeah.
and then maybe it's like a game night. Maybe it's like, the ladies can have a glass of the Pinot Grigio or whatever,
Yeah.
and then we can just game.
Yeah.
And
then
you can expose me to PS, PlayStation again, and then
yeah, you can
maybe
show
I
me
can
the
convert some Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I love hate. Blades of Steel. Are you a sports game guy?
I am. Yeah. Yeah.
Do
I
you?
love
Okay.
sports games. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
are you playing for sports games right now? Do you have a preference?
So I like hockey. I love NHL. Whatever the latest update of NHL is usually what I'm playing. So there you
Awesome.
go. Look at you getting an interview with Adriano.
He's got to come on.
It's tough.
Him and
He's
I go-
elusive, man. He's elusive.
He's elusive, but the guy is just solid individual all around. He was the MC
Oh.
at my wedding.
I didn't know that. That's really cool. That's
He
really
was the
cool.
MC at my wedding. But just amazingly awesome dude. And it's been a while since him and I have kind of reconnected. The stories that we have from when we used to do Arms Eats on CTV will, like, if
I
anybody
remember watching them. Yeah.
yeah, it's insane. Everyone would be like, we do the Arms Eats on CTV, and everyone would be like, Arms, you eat well. Because like Adrian will bring in, like, say, Phil from Mezzo or somebody else, right? And I would never eat it. I do the shtick, like, I knew it was burning hot, and I'd be like, I'm going to try this before we go to break. Oh, it's burning. Back to you, Jim. Right? But I would always leave it for the newsroom, and they would just like, like, as soon as the show was done, everybody on the food. And I'd be like, hey, peace out. But anyways, we'll get Adriano on the show.
His posts all the time with the burger crawls he does and all of it, like, it's all so good.
Jeff says, I'm not into this nerd talk, but I'm totally amazed and excited to see how you two are about this. Getting quite a kick of watching you so pumped up about it.
Yeah.
Your poor wives. Yes,
they're long suffering. They put up with a lot.
Okay, here's my thing. Are you guys big Halloween people?
No.
No?
Not even a little bit. Like, it's sad. I'll decorate now because our neighbors have two kids, Elsie and Blake, and they're incredible. And like, I decorate for Christmas now for them, so I'll probably go big for Halloween because they're finally at that age where they'll get it. So it's fun.
God bless you.
Yeah,
I'm known on our street here in Amherstburg as the Filipino Clark Griswold of Halloween. Dude, because we never decorated growing up. I'm gonna send you photos, and every year Carrie's like, really, it's Halloween. I'm like, this is a big thing.
We're coming trick or treating over there then this year.
You gotta come over for a drink and come have a drink and help me set up and go up on the roof with me because I'm putting up inflatables everywhere.
Go up on where with you? What is happening?
I go on the roof, man.
No,
I put up lights on the roof. I got inflatables on the roof. Listen,
you're mad,
Carrie. Carrie literally, she came home from the pharmacy one day, and then she goes, our mother-in-law was over, her mom was over, and she goes, oh, you never guess what Arms bought? And Carrie's like, what? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I get 2 garbage bags out of the garage, and buy and sell, man. Facebook buy and sell. You got to get stuff while it's hot, right?
Yeah.
Some guy was selling like hundreds of dollars of Halloween inflatables.
Sure.
And I literally ran. I said to my mother-in-law, I got to go watch Liam. Right. I go, I pick him up, and I got like Adam, like 15-foot Grim Reaper. It's amazing. And it moves. And I'm like, it's like the beginning of May. I'm out in the front yard. I'm plugging them in, make sure they all work. Our neighbor across the street's like, hey, somebody's birthday or what's going on? I'm like, nope, just trying out for Halloween. And
Halloween's in 2 months. Got to prep. We're just prepping. Yeah.
He's like, Halloween's in October. I'm like,
yeah.
We don't have enough time.
Mind your own business, Jim. I don't tell you to live your life.
It was a good time. Yeah. If you need help for Halloween decor,
anytime, please do. I do need help. I do. We bought a whole bunch of Christmas decor this year, and now it's all stored safely in the shed, but it's very unsettling because you open the door and there's a giant sign from the election. There are 4 snowmen and just like a really upsetting looking deer that has lost several antlers. and I haven't mowed the lawn in weeks because of it. So
You could repurpose the deer for Halloween.
I think
It could
so.
be-
I think they're multifaceted for sure. I actually have some of our Christmas lights still up because I was like, it's COVID. We're keeping it up all year.
Just keep going.
We're just going. Yeah, keep the magic alive.
Oh, Jay says here a new Mario Golf game. I saw that actually when I
Ooh.
was at Walmart today, coming out next week. So I can't wait to get that for me. I mean, my son.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
that's how it
It
goes,
happens.
right?
It is what it is. Yeah, no shame
That's
in
how
it.
it goes. Okay, brother. I got to tell you again, if you don't know this, I think that you do so much tremendous work in the community. You're such a genuine
Uh,
guy. You got to keep up doing what you and Beth do. Keep being you, keep being awesome, keep inspiring folks, and keep me on the radar because I want to do a double back with you maybe around Christmas, and we'll
yeah,
just do one all on nerd stuff. How's that
yeah.
sound?
Let's do it, man. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I got to tell you, I value your friendship so much, and I'm so fortunate to have this experience. But I'm just so excited and so thankful that you made this easy. Like I was super nervous, obviously, to come on, and you just I didn't even notice that an hour just passed. So thank
Right?
you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was
No,
so good.
I really believe that the city and the area is going to be in good hands with people like you coming from a positive place.
Oh
So
man.
I just keep up doing what you're doing. Keep killing it at WeTech. Keep being a great husband to Beth, and keep being you, dude, and keep inspiring so many folks.
Thank you, my friend, and you too as well. You're so impressive. You're an awesome
Oh,
dad, an awesome husband. You're killer. So I'll end now because otherwise we're just gonna keep giving compliments to each other all night. It's gonna upset Beth and Kay for sure. Like they're not
yeah.
gonna be
Well,
happy with it.
they're already commenting in the feed,
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
Enough.
guys,
Okay, it's
we'll
we'll
do this
cut it
over
off here.
dinner.
Yeah. Let's get a bonfire going.
We'll get a bond.
Awesome.
Oh, that's my jam. God
Me
bless
too.
you, man. Stay safe, okay? And we'll
Thank you, my
circle back,
friend.
okay?
Take care.
Anytime.
Have a good one.
You too. Adam Castle, the man, the myth, the legend. What a genuine guy. And I want to just thank him. And yeah, one last comment. It is a bromance, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good bromance. I will say this, though. Adam, before I got to know him as a friend, he was one of the first people who really reached out to me when things were not so great with Liam through the Red Shoe Society. And I've always, again, knew him through the broadcast world. And I think when people can really be with you during your darkest hours, or at least offer that olive branch, that's a special type of person. And he's a special type of guy. So I wish him nothing but the best. He's an amazing guy. You got to check out his podcast, by the way, too. A lot of people commenting in the feed, messaging me, what is the podcast URL? You can find it on Anchor FM. It's a solid listen. Download his episodes. He's got quite a few of them, and give him a listen. Anyways, that's going to do it for the Arms Bumanlag project for this Friday, June 18th. Speaking of nerds, I got to go upstairs, turn on Disney Plus, and watch some Loki season episode 2 with my wife because keep forgetting they debut them on Wednesday. You can get the episodes on this on our podcast too, and check it out online on my YouTube channel. Take care of yourself, be good to each other, and always remember that somebody may need a little bit of support, and be that person to be the positivity in the world. Thanks for watching.